Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. I don't know about you, but
Yep.
the new year always kind of gets me thinking fitness goals.
Right.
But honestly,
Yeah.
where do you even...
Where do you start?
I know, like so many
Mhm.
people are thinking about like training for a big event or finally,
Mhm.
building those healthy habits that you've been putting off.
Yeah.
Or maybe you're just curious about what's even out there, like
Sure.
what's new in the fitness world.
Mhm.
So that's what we're going to tackle today, and we've got tons of different sources for you.
Oh, yeah.
We've got advice from pros,
Love it.
tips from trainers,
Great.
and even some really cool ideas about how to make those fitness changes stick all year long.
It's interesting you say that because a lot of our sources actually are kind of pushing back on that whole
Oh,
new year, new me mindset.
right. It's like we think motivation has a calendar reminder or something.
Totally. One of our experts, Jason Krapik,
Mm.
who's a clinical assistant professor in kinesiology, says waiting for like a specific date,
Hmm.
like January 1st,
Yeah.
can actually backfire.
Oh,
And his research shows that people who start earlier in the year,
okay.
even just a little bit, see way better results over time.
So it's less about the date on the calendar and more about like building that momentum early on.
100%.
Mm.
And Krapik talks about how it helps you avoid that like all or nothing pressure that comes with New Year's resolutions.
Right.
And plus, think about the benefits of winter workouts.
Oh, okay. So you're saying don't wait till the weather's nice?
Exactly. They often get overlooked.
Okay. What's so great about working out when it's freezing outside?
Well, for one thing,
Mm-hmm.
winter workouts can actually really help strengthen your immune system.
Really?
Yeah. Krapek's research shows a strong correlation between regular exercise and like a way more robust immune response.
So it's like giving your body extra defenses during cold and flu season.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it.
Okay. I like it. What else?
Another benefit, and this might be especially relevant to you if you're prone to the winter blues,
Oh, yeah.
is that exercise is a huge mood booster.
Totally.
Working out triggers the release of endorphins,
I love endorphins.
right? Those natural mood elevators that can help fight off that blah feeling we sometimes get when there's not enough sunshine.
That makes total sense. I know I definitely feel more energized after a good workout,
Hmm.
even if it's just a quick walk.
Totally.
But with so many different ways to get moving out there,
Yeah.
how do you even know where to start? I mean, the options can feel endless.
Well, that's where the idea of finding your fitness flavor comes in.
Okay.
It's something that a lot of our sources emphasize. And think about it this way. You wouldn't force yourself to eat a flavor of ice cream you hate.
I would never.
Right. So why do that with fitness? If you hate going to the gym,
Ugh, don't go.
don't go.
Yeah.
Find something else.
I love that analogy. So it's all about finding activities that feel good
Yes.
and that make you want to keep coming back for more.
Yep.
Not something you just feel like you should be doing.
Exactly. It's all about exploring your options and seeing what really sparks your interest.
Okay. I love that.
Maybe it's joining a dance class or taking up swimming or training for a hike
Mm-hmm.
or finding a sport you love.
Right.
Some of our sources even suggest thinking back to stuff you loved as a kid.
Oh.
What got you moving back then?
Yeah. It's like rediscovering that pure joy of movement.
Exactly.
And the cool thing is there are so many options,
Yeah.
both indoor and outdoor.
Mm.
We've got sources covering everything from gyms and fitness studios to outdoor adventures,
Yep.
even in the winter.
Yeah. And speaking of outdoor workouts in the winter,
Yeah.
there's one tip that a lot of people forget,
Okay.
even the experts in our sources:
What's that?
staying hydrated.
Really? Why is that so important when it's cold out? I feel like I honestly don't get as thirsty in the winter.
You're right. You might not feel as thirsty, but you're actually still losing fluids even when you can see your breath.
Wait, really? What do you mean?
Well, just think about it. When you can see your breath, you're seeing water vapor
Okay.
that's literally coming from your body.
Right.
And it means you're losing fluids every time you exhale.
Wow.
So even if you don't feel parched, it's super important to keep sipping water throughout the day,
Okay.
especially if you're being active outside.
I never thought of it that way. That's such a simple but important reminder.
It is.
It's so easy to focus on like layering up and staying warm,
Right.
but hydration is key too.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's say we found some activities we enjoy and we're staying hydrated.
Hmm.
How do we actually set ourselves up to like stick with it for the long haul?
Well, that's where SMART goals come in.
Ooh, smart goals.
Yeah, it's a total classic framework for achieving success.
Okay.
But one of our sources,
Yeah.
personal trainer Tara DeLeon,
Okay.
she has a super interesting take on it that goes way beyond the typical explanation.
Ooh. Okay. I'm intrigued. I feel like I've heard of SMART goals before, but
Yeah.
I'm always down for like a fresh perspective.
Totally. And what makes Tara DeLeon's approach different
Yeah.
is that while she totally emphasizes the importance of the classic elements,
Okay.
specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound,
Right.
she takes it a step further
Okay.
by adding in a psychological element that most people miss.
A psychological element.
That
Tell me more.
is-
I love a good mindset hack.
Right. What Tara DeLeon emphasizes is that you have to align your goals with your core values and motivations.
Okay.
It's not enough to just say like, oh, I want to run a marathon.
Right.
You have to ask yourself why that goal matters to you on a deeper level.
So it's about connecting your fitness goals to something bigger than just like
Yes.
physical achievement.
Exactly. And that's what makes her approach so interesting.
Yeah.
She suggests spending some time really thinking about your values, what you're passionate about, and what really truly motivates you.
Okay.
Then you can frame your fitness goals in a way that speaks to those things.
Oh, that's fascinating. I can definitely see how that would make a huge difference in staying motivated and committed.
Yeah.
It's like you're tapping into this like inner wellspring of drive and not
Mhm.
just relying on like willpower,
Totally. And this leads us to another really important part of building those lasting habits.
Okay, what's that?
The idea of focusing on progress,
Okay.
not perfection.
Ooh, I think we all need to hear that more often.
Right.
It's so easy to get caught up in striving for this like impossible ideal of perfection,
Yeah.
which honestly just sets us up for disappointment and makes us way less likely to stick with it in the long run.
Exactly. And Tara DeLeon isn't the only one who feels this way.
Okay.
Another expert, Dr. Simran Malhotra,
Okay.
who specializes in lifestyle medicine, totally agrees and offers some really practical tips for actually building healthy habits step by step.
Okay, I am all ears. What are some of Dr. Malhotra's tips?
Well, she's a huge fan of something called habit stacking.
Habit stacking. Okay, I've never heard of that.
It's a technique for basically building new habits
Mm-hmm.
by attaching them to ones you already have.
Okay, can you break that down for me? Give me an example.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So think about a habit you already do every day,
Okay.
like brushing your teeth.
Yeah, I do that every day.
Okay, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say you want to start meditating for a few minutes every morning.
Okay.
Dr. Malhotra would say, stack that new habit
Mm-hmm.
on top of the brushing.
Okay.
So right after you brush your teeth,
Yeah.
you sit down and meditate.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Right.
I can see how that would make it so much easier to remember and actually do it.
Yeah,
It's like you're using the power of your existing routine to your advantage.
exactly. And you can use habit stacking for literally anything,
Really,
not just fitness, but when it comes to working out, it can be a game changer.
for sure. I'm already thinking of all the habits I could stack.
Right.
This is such a good technique. It takes the pressure off of trying to change like your entire life all at once.
Yeah.
It feels way more manageable.
Absolutely. And that's a key takeaway here. Building sustainable fitness habits isn't about these huge overhauls or big gestures.
Right.
It's all about those small,
Yeah.
consistent wins.
I love that. Okay, so we've talked about finding activities we enjoy,
Mm-hmm.
setting SMART goals that really align with our values,
Yep.
and using habit stacking to make those new routines stick.
Exactly.
But even with the best strategies,
Right.
there are going to be days when motivation just dips.
Oh, for sure.
How do we stay on track when we hit those bumps in the road?
You're right. Those dips in motivation are totally normal.
Yeah.
And honestly, one of the most powerful ways to deal with them is to shift your focus from perfection
Yeah.
to progress.
Okay.
It's something that comes up again and again in our sources.
So instead of like beating ourselves up over a missed workout or,
Yeah.
A day where our eating wasn't perfect,
Exactly.
we should focus on how far we've come.
Yes. One of our sources, Dr. Emily Carter.
Oh.
She's a sports psychologist.
Yeah.
And she talks about the importance of reframing setbacks.
Reframing setbacks.
Yeah. So instead of seeing them as failures,
Yeah.
she encourages us to see them as chances to learn and grow.
Ooh, I love that. Reframing setbacks.
That's a good one.
It really does take the sting out of those moments
Yeah, boy.
when you feel like you've totally fallen off track.
Yeah,
It's like giving ourselves permission to be human.
for sure.
We're not striving for this impossible ideal of perfection,
Yeah.
but rather focusing on making consistent progress over time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Dr. Carter even recommends keeping a progress journal.
A progress journal.
Yeah, where you can actually write down all your achievements, no matter how small.
Oh,
It could be anything from crushing a super hard workout
okay.
to just choosing a healthier snack instead of that sugary treat.
That's a really good idea. It's like creating this tangible record of your wins,
Yeah?
which can be super motivating
Sure.
when you're feeling discouraged. And it goes back to that idea of celebrating those small victories, right?
Exactly.
So,
Another one of our experts, registered dietitian Elizabeth Harris, talks about the power of positive reinforcement when it comes to building these healthy habits. She suggests finding ways to reward yourself for your wins,
oh.
but in a way that makes sense for your goals.
So if my goal is to eat healthier,
Right.
my reward shouldn't be a giant piece of chocolate cake, right?
Probably not, but maybe it's a new workout outfit or a massage
Okay.
or even a cooking class that focuses on healthy meals.
Right.
The point is to find rewards that you enjoy and that support your goals.
I love that. It's like you're creating this positive feedback loop that keeps you motivated and reinforces those healthy choices.
Yeah, and I think this is where mindset becomes super important.
For sure.
The sources we've got really highlight the mental side of fitness.
Yeah.
It's not just about physical strength and endurance. It's about mental resilience, self-compassion, and being able to bounce back from those setbacks.
So it's like fitness is a journey, not a destination.
Such a good point.
And there are going to be ups and downs along the way.
Yeah. And the journey itself can be so rewarding
Yeah.
if you approach it with the right mindset.
For sure.
It's all about focusing on the process, celebrating the small wins, and learning from the challenges.
Absolutely. I think that is such an important message, especially in a world where we're bombarded with images of like perfect bodies,
Right.
these unrealistic fitness goals.
Yeah, it's so easy to start comparing ourselves to others
Totally.
and feeling like we're not good enough.
Yeah, and that's why it's so important to cultivate that sense of self-compassion and just focus on our own unique journeys.
Yeah, one of the things that really struck me in our sources was how much they stressed finding joy in movement.
Oh, that's so important.
Like it shouldn't feel like a chore or a punishment.
Absolutely. When you find activities you genuinely enjoy,
Yeah,
working out becomes something you look forward to, not something you dread.
totally.
It goes back to that whole fitness flavor idea.
Exactly.
Find what sparks your interest and makes you feel good.
Yes. And when you approach fitness from that place of enjoyment and self-care, it becomes way more sustainable.
Yeah.
It's not about forcing yourself into someone else's mold.
Right.
It's about honoring your body and moving in ways that feel good to you.
Right. I love
Yeah.
that. It's about reclaiming fitness as a source of joy,
Yeah,
not just like a means to an end.
totally.
And you know what? I think that's a perfect segue into our final thoughts for this deep dive.
Absolutely. We've covered so much today.
We have from the science behind winter workouts
Yeah.
to the power of habit stacking
Mm-hmm.
and the importance of celebrating those little wins.
Oh, at the little inn.
We've explored practical ways to set realistic goals,
Yeah,
build consistency,
for sure.
and cultivate a mindset that'll help you succeed in the long run.
Absolutely. And I think it all comes back to finding what works for you,
Yes.
listening to your body,
Yeah,
and honoring your own unique fitness journey.
I love that. So as we wrap up this deep dive, we want to leave you with this question. What's one small step
Yeah.
that you can take today
Mm-hmm.
to kickstart your own fitness journey?
I love it.
Maybe it's trying a new workout class,
Yeah.
dusting off that old yoga mat,
Way.
or just committing to like a 10-minute walk during your lunch break.
Totally.
Whatever it is, remember that even those smallest actions,
Yeah.
when you do them consistently,
Yes.
can lead to some seriously incredible results.
And above all, be kind to yourself.
Oh, that's so important.
Throughout the whole process.
Yes.
Celebrate those small wins.
Yeah.
Learn from the setbacks. And find joy in the journey.
I love that. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been fun.
We'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody.
All right, so we've talked about finding activities we enjoy,
Yeah.
setting smart goals that
Mhm.
really speak to like our values,
Absolutely.
and using habit stacking to build those new routines.
Yes.
But even with all the best strategies,
Right.
there are going to be days when like motivation just
Oh, yeah.
takes a nosedive.
For sure.
How do we stay on track when we hit those bumps?
You're so right. Those dips are totally normal.
Okay, good.
And one of the best ways to handle them is to honestly shift your focus from perfection to progress.
Okay.
It's a theme that comes up a lot in what we read.
So instead of beating ourselves up
Yep.
over a missed workout or
Yeah.
a day where our eating wasn't perfect,
Exactly.
we should be focusing on how far we've come.
Yes. One of our sources, Dr. Emily Carter,
Okay.
who's a sports psychologist,
Mm-hmm.
talks about how important it is to reframe setbacks.
Reframing setbacks.
Yeah. Instead of looking at them as failures,
Yeah.
She wants us to see them as opportunities to learn and grow.
I love that reframing setbacks.
Right.
It really takes the pressure off.
Totally.
You know, when you feel like you've messed up. It's
Yeah.
like giving ourselves permission to be human.
Exactly.
We're not striving for this like impossible ideal of perfection. It's about making progress.
Yes. Consistent progress.
Over time.
Yeah. Dr. Carter actually suggests keeping a progress journal.
Ooh, a progress journal. Okay.
Yeah, where you literally write down all your achievements, no matter how small.
So even if it's just like, I drank enough water today.
Yeah. Or I chose the salad instead of the fries.
Okay.
It could be anything, just anything that feels like a win.
I love that. It's like you're creating this like physical record of all the good stuff.
Absolutely.
Which can be super motivating, you know, when you're not feeling it.
Yeah. And it all comes back to celebrating those small wins.
For sure.
We have another expert, Elizabeth Harris.
Okay.
She's a registered dietitian, and she's all about the power of positive reinforcement,
Oh, interesting.
especially when you're trying to build new habits. She suggests finding ways to reward yourself for your wins.
For the small wins.
Yes, but make sure they align with your goals.
Right. So if my goal is to eat healthier,
Yeah,
my reward shouldn't be a giant piece of cake.
probably not.
Right.
But maybe it's something like a new workout outfit, or a massage, or signing up for a healthy cooking class.
Right.
The point is to choose things you enjoy, but that also support your overall goals.
I love that it's like you're creating this positive feedback loop
Exactly.
to keep you motivated and keep you going.
Totally. And I think this is where mindset comes in.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
A lot of the research we've looked at really highlights that mental aspect of fitness.
Yeah, like it's not just about how much you can lift or how fast you can run.
It's so much more than that.
It's about mental toughness.
Yes.
Being kind to yourself.
Self-compassion is huge.
Yeah, and bouncing back from those setbacks.
Exactly. Like fitness is a journey,
Yeah,
not a destination.
not a finish line.
And there will be ups and downs along the way.
For sure.
But if you go into it with the right mindset, the journey itself can be super rewarding.
Absolutely. I think that is so important,
It is.
especially with all the pressure out there.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
You know, we're constantly seeing these images of like perfect bodies.
Totally unreal.
And it's so easy to compare yourself
Oh yeah.
and feel like you don't measure up.
Exactly. So cultivating that self-compassion
Okay.
and focusing on your own journey is key.
One of the things that really stood out to me in the research was how much emphasis there was on finding joy in movement.
Yes. That's so important.
It shouldn't feel like a chore
No. It should feel good.
or a punishment.
It should be something you enjoy.
Totally. When you find things you actually like doing,
Yeah.
working out becomes something you look forward to,
Totally.
not something you dread.
Goes back to that fitness flavor thing.
It does.
Finding what makes you want to move.
Find what sparks your interest and makes you feel good.
Yeah. And when you start seeing fitness as fun and self-care, it becomes so much easier to make it a part of your life.
Yeah.
It's not about fitting into someone else's mold.
Right.
It's about honoring your body and moving in ways that feel good for you.
I love that. It's about reclaiming fitness as a source of joy,
Holds.
not a means to an end.
I love that.
I think that's a great transition
Yeah.
into our final thoughts for this deep dive.
What a perfect segue.
We've covered so much.
We have from the science of winter workouts to habit stacking to celebrating small wins.
And all about mindset.
It really is all about mindset.
We've explored practical strategies for setting realistic goals,
Yeah.
for building consistency,
Absolutely.
and for developing that mindset.
It's so important.
That'll help you succeed long term.
Yes. And it all boils down to finding what works for you,
Exactly.
listening to your body,
Yeah,
and honoring your own unique fitness journey.
absolutely. So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Okay.
I want to leave you with this question.
I love it.
What's one small step
Yeah.
you can take today to kickstart your own fitness journey?
Ooh, I like it.
Maybe it's trying a new workout class,
Yeah.
dusting off that old yoga mat,
Totally.
or just committing to a quick 10-minute walk during your lunch break. Whatever it is, remember that even those smallest steps,
Yeah.
when you do them consistently,
Yes, consistency is key.
can lead to some pretty incredible results.
Absolutely. And remember to be kind to yourself
Yes.
throughout the process.